Bassheads, what's good? Welcome to another video. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ted and I talk bass. I got a question for you. Is technology like iPads and iPhones or any other kind of phone, charts and things like that, are those things making musicians lazy, or are they necessary tools for success? Let's talk about it. Now listen, before you just jump on me in the comments, let me just say that I love technology, and I think that technology has its place. And I use an iPad. I keep an iPad in my gig bag. If I need to pull out Pro for something, I will do that, right? But what I've been noticing a lot is, particularly with people out in front, is they will be holding cell phones and singing or reciting poetry or whatever, spoken word. And I'm like, that's whack. I'm not going to pretend that it ain't whack, right? In my line of work and the work that I've done, I play a lot of songs. I don't know every song known to man, but when I use my iPad, there's stands and there's things where you can do this, discreetly. I don't think there's anything wrong with having them on stage, but I do have a problem with seeing people just like staring at a device on stage. Now, we all know that there are big name artists that use teleprompters. I've seen Prince use teleprompters. I've seen Prince on several occasions forget his own lyrics. And he kind of, does this thing as professionals do, twist it around or whatever. It happens, right? And so, again, I'm not talking about, I'm not saying that technology should just not be on stage. It should, back in the day, back in my day, I remember when Pro first came out, right? I'm doing a gig in San Francisco. It was a Valentine's Day gig. And I had it on an Android, and it had never happened before, but my phone just like locked up. So the guitar player, and this was a bunch of tunes that I just didn't know. I was filling in for somebody, and they had some charts on Pro. And so the guitar player, he loans me his phone. I put it on the stage, but his phone doesn't stop ringing. So, I think that, there's value in the technology, but you got to learn the songs and learn how to make connections with these songs. And also, not turn this into a situation where you're just like staring at a device. I had a gig I used to do on Bourbon Street, and, one of the guys in the band, we're playing a song, and it's a well-known song. And it's like one of those tunes where it's like, man, this is a standard, of this world, this working man's world that we're in right now. You shouldn't have to pull up a chart for this every single time. The song was I Will Survive, which is an A minor, right? But the singer on this particular night wanted to do it in a different key. And the first thing I'm thinking is like, if you're supposed to know this. The second thing is, he was kind of buried in the chart, and you're like, dude, just because you got the chart doesn't mean that your ears stop working. You know what I'm saying? And so when we use technology as a tool, it's valuable. It becomes problematic when we use the technology as a crutch. So a couple of the pros about technology like iPads and iPhones. I keep saying iPads and iPhones because I am an Apple user, but I'm really talking about any of these gadgets, right? There's portability. You have a wealth of information at your fingertips, and you can also make really quick changes on the fly. Those are good things. But the biggest cons that I see in this area are the dependency on the technology. God, I hate sounding like the old guy telling you to get off my lawn, but when I was coming up, you just had to kind of learn songs and just know a lot of songs. And the way that you do that is you play a lot of songs. You're not going to get all of them 100% right. But over time, and there was also a different culture where you played the same songs repetitively. But one thing that I know for a fact is that all over the country, and even if you go out of the country, there's certain songs that everybody is going to play, and they're gonna play them in a similar or exact same kind of arrangement. So I think another con is that you have the dependence that's built up on the tech, and then also it kind of promotes this culture of laziness. Like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna wing it, and then I'm gonna pull up the chart, right? And after a while, it limits our ability to be creative, to come up with different arrangements and things like that on the fly. Like, your ears have to work. So again, I think that technology on stage is perfectly fine, perfectly valid. I use it, but I think that there has to be a balance. Set that thing up, get a proper stand. I got some of my favorite gear linked below, but you can have these things set up discreetly. The audience kind of expects, from the band. The audience is not weirded out, but a front person, holding a device is weird. I know a few great singers on both coasts, the Gulf Coast and the West Coast, that are really, classy about, having their phone, on their little stand, clip to their mic stand, and they're, real just kind of casually scrolling if they need to, but they're also not looking up lyrics for songs that they sing all the time and songs that they've committed to memory. We have to do that if we're performing, so there's not that engagement disconnect, right? And so this is what I want to know from you. I want you to not only hit that like button, that subscribe button, and all that good stuff, but down below, leave me your thoughts on tech on stage. Do you use it as an audience member? Are you weirded out by it? Where's the middle ground in your opinion? I really want to know. I really want to start that dialogue with you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Over here is a playlist that I think you'll dig. Down there is a video that YouTube thinks you might like. And I will see you in the next video. Peace. Two fingers.